Hello everybody, greetings, hello chaps and other such salutations. It's Friday once again and we're all gathered here for a drop of the cooling stuff, because I'm in need of it today. Well, every day really, but anyway, cheers. Oh dear me. Carlsberg Export once again. It's pretty much my tipple of choice these days, and yes, and it's been a bit warm here today. Well, it was a bit chilly this morning actually. The wind had a little bit of an edge to it, but yes, fans on and windows open this afternoon. As I've been sat typing out some tabs. More on that later. But first, let's have a little bit of a look and see who's in, and more importantly, who's teacher's pet, who was first in. Oh, Rent to Kill, pipped at the post there by Terry Day. And then, as I say, Rent to Kill in the silver medal position, with Amadeus claiming bronze. Then we've got Mark Gowans, Peter Collins, Dave Fiendish, Paul Trainer BSc, the resident bass player. Then we've got Tom Clark, South London, David James, Jaron 64. There's Craig Stamen. New Guitar Day for Craig. Got an Ormsby Hype 6. It's absolute shred machine. Yeah, that's very much your kind of thing, isn't it, Craig? You do like the twiddly stuff. And you're rather good at it has to be said. I wonder who taught you. Anyway, there's Johnny Random, and we've got El Baldo 64. Grandpa Joe is in, and what's this message? Wishing you all a happy weekend, but I would like to wish John and his wife Jackie a happy anniversary. They celebrate this week. Cheers to the both of you. Well, thank you very much. Yes, 25 years ago to the day, on Tuesday just gone, this lovely lady called Jackie at Gisborough Registry Office said, I do. And 25 years, as it said in the card that I got her for the anniversary, because I'm a caring bloke. I remember such things. I've been taught. It on the card it just said, you'd have got less time for murder. And oh, how we laughed. Then we've got, have I said Dave Fiendish already? If I haven't, I just have. There's theme tunes. And Grandpa Job giving my Patreon a plug again. Thank you so much, mate. It is much appreciated. But do consider joining. Link in the description if you're watching this on Catch Up. And if you are watching on Catch Up, thanks for watching. There's Cylon Hybrid. We've got Victory House music. We've got Wilson Jones music. Peter Nicholson. Yeah, the chat's displaying rather differently tonight. I'm noticing everybody's got numbers and stuff after their name. Many people have. It used to be, for instance, just Peter Nicholson. Now it's Peter Nicholson 7,421 for some reason. Are there 7,420 other Peter Nicholsons that sometimes watch the stream? Anyway, we've got Tony Clifton sings. This one escapes me, mate. Whoop-de-doo, whoop-de-die, stick a needle in your eye. Fair enough. I'll give that one a miss if you don't mind, but, whatever floats your boat, mate. I sold more records than Elvis and the Beatles combined. They never even heard of a car boot sale. But-a-dumsh, yes. Thank you very much. I'm here all week. Who else have we got? We got John Ross, 52. I'm missing the numbers off. John Ross. Then there's Anton, Frank Bolam, Francis Chambers, and we got Stephen Polk. Dr. Gomez is in, so is Stephen Hedger, Ben Allmark. Is that Suffolk and what? UK, saying it's sweaty in Suffolk. Yes. It's just, I'm not built for this weather, it has to be said. Then we've got Steve Entwistle, there's Peter Hall, and 60s Man, and Robert Forsyth, and Mule Man. And VSW, all the way from Costa del Sheffield, where both we and the weather are hot, but the beers are cold. Indeed, my Friday night plans have been disrupted this week, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a moment. Then we've got Paul Trainer again. Thank you so much, mate. We're coming in with a super chat every week, regular as clockwork. He chucks a couple of quid in the tip jar. Thank you very much, mate. Colin Falcon is here, as is Calby and the Rocco Cat. Rexamatic all the way from Phoenix, Arizona, where Rex, I tell you what, mate, I'll mod you up. Let me just figure out how to do that, because Rex has a channel, and if I make him a mod, he can put his link in the chat. So let's find out where that is. I need to scroll up. I'm having to do this on two screens at the moment. Rexamatic works, and it's there. No, that's not him. I can't find you on the YouTube side of the chat, Rex. I shall. I hate it when it does this. There he is. Yes, right. Okay, so I can do that. And excuse me, talk amongst yourselves. You do anyway. Add as moderator. There we go. There you go, Rex. Consider yourself all modded up. Stick a link to your channel in the chat, and then other people can go and watch some episodes of Old Guys New Guitars. I've got a couple of them stacked up to watch. I'll be honest with you, I haven't had the time, but they are on my to-do list. There's Otter Guitars, and Cal Texper is in. So is Moon's Guitars, the Essex Cat. Eric Luttinger is in. Who else have we got? Let's have a look. There's Brad Dowell, and Blue Sofa Songs is in. And who else we got? We've got Jay Aoyong, Mr. Chris, regular in this parish. He's there as well. So is... I can't read your name, mate. Sorry, my eyesight is terrible. Happy Friday to one and all, says Eva Dunstan. Thank you. Yes, I don't know why that was so difficult to read. Blame it on... they told me I'd go blind. Anyway, we've got MW Card. We've got... let's have a look. J.R. Channing. I think that's John Channing, just going by his pseudonym. I don't know why. Have people changed their names, or is StreamYard just displaying them differently this week? Anyway, there's Sargi, and we've got session guitar legend, none other than Gary Shaw himself. Bill Mumbo is in, so it is Artist Bubba, and The Lamb is among us, ladies and gentlemen. And who else we got? Anyone else new? I think I've said all of these. Beedly B. The Lamb Live is saying 25th anniversary. I believe the traditional gift is a silver burst. Very close, mate. Very close. My anniversary gift will be the Agrajag guitar that is currently getting screwed together in James's workshop. And don't worry, Jackie got an equivalent sort of value gift from me as well. I didn't pick. I didn't pick it. I just said, look, if that's what you want, just go and take the money out the savings and get it. So it's on once every 25 years you can dip into your savings, I think, for something extravagant. We got Cresta Bear, first time ever in the chat. The joys of working from home occasionally. Just like to say how much I appreciate your channel and the material you produce. Hello from a sweltering Geneva. Well, thank you for your kind words, mate, and I hope you've got something there to keep you cool. Of this variety. It's the only way to do it, mate. Who else have we got? Let's have a look. Said you. Malcolm Spillett is in. So is Sudorn. Yes, I don't know. Something's up with StreamYard tonight. We've got MMQAN4747. I don't know what's up with the names tonight, but it's not making my life any easier. Budget Pedal chap is in. I can read that one, and so is Austin Barrett. And who else have we got? Diddly Dee. I think that's pretty much everyone. Apologies if I've missed you, but I want to kind of crack on. And I think the chat is displaying email names. Okay, well, why it started doing that, I do not know. But it has, and we shall just deal with it. Anyway, that was a bit of a marathon, wasn't it? Let me just get a little bit of lubrication and then refill the reservoir. It's, yes. Apologies for the background noise, by the way. I cannot sit in here at the moment without having the fan on. I would put the portable air conditioning on as well, but that is just, it would sound like there was, I don't know, a Lancaster bomber firing up its engines in the room. So it's only for an hour, so I'm just going to kind of have this little sort of USB fan pointing at me, and that's plenty cool enough, along with the obvious. Anyway, a couple of things I've got scribbled down here that, because, I don't always make notes, but today I have. And first order of business, I suppose, is to tell you what's coming up on the channel this week. You know, the kind of videos I do on a Sunday where I'm demoing a guitar or a pedal, or I'm kind of, showing something, doing a comparison, that kind of. It's Sunday's the day when I put those videos out. And very occasionally, I find myself needing to do a Sunday video, and there is no guitar to demo, no guitar to compare, nothing to do. So what's to do? Well, I just made the video anyway with a guitar that I've already got. But basically, treating it like the kind of occasional thing that I do where I do a behind the scenes, this is how I put a video together kind of thing. It's when they're watching when you're watching some TV show and it gets to the last episode of the kind of series or of that season, and they say, and now let's have a look at some classic clips from the last 12 months. Well, kind of a bit like that, Then Monday's video is it'll probably get the square root of bugger all views because it's a guitar lesson video, but it was one I wanted to make. I did a video back in about 2018 or 2019 where I was pointing out the similarity of approach between two very different musicians, Miles Davis and Joe Satriani, and how they would create something very, very melodic and modal sounding by using a similar approach that, if Miles Davis can use it and not sound anything like Joe Satriani and vice versa, then it's a versatile way of putting a tune together. And that's what we're looking at on Monday. Then on Tuesday, a viewer request video, really, a top 5 suggestion. Ages ago, I did a top 5 video where I was talking about my 5 favourite solos that I'd kind of broken down and analysed on the channel, and the ones I enjoyed playing the most, and was kind of proud to have, kind of had a go at doing that solo and hopefully made a decent job of it. Well, somebody got in touch and asked, why don't you do, a top 5 video of your 5 favourite tunes that you've done on the channel? So that's what Tuesday is all about. Just the little demo pieces and intro jams that I sometimes do on videos. Ones that sort of, I think, yeah, I'm happy with that. That came out really, really nicely. So that's what Tuesday's video is all about. Wednesday is another in the relatively new series of videos where I'm talking about light bulb moments, when I realised something significant, when I made a discovery. I never studied music theory. I sort of stumbled across it and kind of made my own discoveries just out of curiosity. And why does that do that? Kind of almost like, I wonder what that button does. That sort of attitude that I brought to playing the guitar. And, sometimes, every now and again, I would discover something significant that had, a big impact and moved me forward a little bit. Well, it's another one of those on Wednesday, and we're talking about how you can do the same thing and get different sounds with it. Anyway, watch Wednesday's video. You'll see what we're talking about there. And then on Thursday, you may recall that some time ago on the live stream, I unboxed this rather fetching little darling here, a G&L Comanche. Well, yeah, it's the first impressions video of that guitar. So you may be asking, well, why did you wait so long to do the first impressions video? I didn't. I did the video immediately after the unboxing on the live stream a few weeks ago. It's just that's how far in advance I make the videos. You're not wrong, Balder. It's not. It's a handsome looking beast. So that's Thursday's video. After Thursday, we're back on the beer again. So just having a look, see what I'm missing in the chat while I've been rattling that off. Anybody shouting me? Oh, there you go. There's Rex's channel. You want to go and check him out? Then please do so. You'll find his link there in the chat. Let's have a look what's going on here then. Blue Sofa Songs is saying, happy 70th birthday, Mick Jones of The Clash. Dear me, it's a sobering thought, isn't it? All of those rebellious young punks that we remember kind of, from the late 70s. They've all got their bus passes now and, probably qualify for mobility allowance and stuff. Anyway, what else have we got to tell you about? Red Carmageddon, September 19th, Friday, September the 19th. There will be no live stream that night because we're all going to be out on the beer. We're all going to be drinking beer and eating curry and making merry and having a good time. It's up here in Redcar. You know all about it already, but I'm just going to give it a plug because I've got some more information that might be relevant. Well, it is relevant. So September the 19th, get yourself up to Redcar if you fancy a splendid night on the beer and a splendid curry at Bengal Spice. And we shall be meeting in the customary venue, the Gypsy Rover pub on Station Road in Redcar. Lovely little place and very friendly atmosphere. And they serve good beer, so that's why we're choosing. And they also have a very, very relaxed attitude to the use of these things, which the first time we did one of these meetups, the pub that we met in was about get out, whenever anybody kind of took one of these out of their pocket. So that's why we're going to the Gypsy Rover, and then off to Bengal Spice Curry House. And yes, so what I'm going to ask you to do is, if you're thinking of coming, if you're definitely coming, well, if you know you're definitely coming, then a couple of weeks before, and let's get to about mid-August, confirm it in email. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a new email address for you to confirm that to. So I just chuck up a Yahoo address or something like that for you to send it to, so that that's, and I know where all of those emails are, and it makes it easy for me to to kind of get the numbers right for booking the table in the restaurant. And at the suggestion of probably the chap who's going to travel the furthest, I can't think anybody who's going to travel any further than Rexamatic, all the way from Phoenix, Arizona. He suggested we round up a posse and go to a local music shop on the following day, the Saturday. And I think that's a splendid idea. We're all going to, well, whoever wants to do so, we're going to jump on the little local train, which is, a 5-minute train ride, costs pennies, to go through the next town along the coast, Saltburn by the Sea, and we're going to head off to Stephen James Music and look at some nice guitars. And if maybe get some filming done. I'm going to have to ring up the shop and make sure they're going to be okay with that, but I'm sure they will be. And look at some nice guitars, talk guitars. Maybe a hair of the dog. Maybe that might be necessary. Some nice pubs in Saltburn, and so that's it. So get yourself a B&B or an Airbnb or something like that the stopover, and I'll be putting either a bit of money behind the bar or paying for the meal in the curry house, one of the two, just to show my appreciation for for the assembled masses who've come to have a beer with me in Redcar. So that's going to be great. I'm looking forward to that now. September the 19th. Be there or be square, as they used to say. Anyway, let's have a wee look, see what's been going. Any good pubs in Saltburn? Yeah, there's a big one on the corner just as you go into town, a big hotel place. And I remember spending an afternoon in there got to be 20 odd years ago. And they had a jar of pickled eggs behind the bar. And me and a mate of mine I was with at the time, we pretty much emptied this jar of pickled eggs, because once you start, you can't stop, can you? Some people don't like pickled eggs. I must admit, I am a bit of a fan of pickled eggs. Helen says she's not interested in the train ride to Saltburn if there's no chance of a wee refresher. Yes. We shall have to. Yes, we'll include a swing past a pub then. That'll be part of the itinerary. I'll be like one of those tour guides. The people who carry an umbrella and say, "Follow me," and they're kind of giving an interesting talk about the surrounding attractions. Paul Trainer, yes. Mick Ralph's passing is a loss. It is indeed. Call me, ignorant, but I didn't know it was Mick Ralph's who was in. I knew his Bad Company. I didn't know that he was in Mott the Hoople as well. I only found that out, not kind of now, but I found it out relatively recently, about 10 years ago. I always associated, for instance, that. I think if any guitar part can be called iconic, this can. The intro to All the Young Dudes, I always associated that with Mick Ronson, because I always thought, the Mick Ronson, Ian Hunter together, Mott the Hoople together. I thought, I didn't realise how late to the party Mick Ronson was joining Mott the Hoople. But yeah, Bad Company. I mean, what a band! What a band! It's. There are certain songs that I've played in covers band after covers band after covers band, and can't get enough. Doesn't it doesn't get the top spot for the song I've done in more bands than any other, but it's pretty close. It's just one of those songs that everybody knows, and if you kind of first rehearsal, you want to get a set put together quickly. It's a song that everybody pretty much knows, and if you don't, you can put it together pretty quickly, along with things like Doctor Doctor by UFO. Let's have a wee look, see what else is going on in the chat. Scroll down to the bottom, have a look at some of the new stuff. Blue Sofa Songs is saying, at some stage, could you please put up the postcode of the pub so I can see the closest hotels, B&Bs, etc. Cheers. I will indeed, mate. I'll look that up and let me write that down. In fact, why don't I do it now? It's like, not like I don't have an internet browser. Right, so let's have a look. Gypsy Rover Redcar and right. Right, where are we? I've got their address. I've got their phone number. But nothing about the postcode. So let's see if I can find postcode finder. Postcode finder. There we go. There we go. Let's just put this in and accept the cookies. All right then. So we've got that 60 Station Road, Redcar. Let's have a look. Right, okay, here we go. It is Tango Sierra 101 Delta uniform. Can you tell I trained as a radio operator? There you go. There is Blue Sofa Songs. There's your postcode for the pub. John Channing beat me to it. And Vincent Brennan. You me. Yes. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Why have a dog and bark yourself, as they say? Anyway, I think it's about time to look at some pictures of some nice guitars, don't you? Shall we head off to the gallery this week? Now that the thingy, what's it called? The freezing seems to have stopped on this. I'm going to knock up a little version of the gallery theme as an intro to this. I think that's a well overdue feature. So here we go. Let's open that up and there we go. Excuse me, technical difficulties, as they say. Share screen. And what have we got here? We have got Dave Thompson's Ibanez AR425. What a lovely looking guitar. I've always been partial to the Ibanez artist shape. I think it's, it's obviously Ibanez kind of making their sort of stab at the Les Paul market. But I just like the way it's not trying to be a copy. It's not trying to be a derivative of anything else. It's saying, this is our take on that. And I just think it's a very, very lovely looking guitar. The Ibanez artist. Don't think I've ever owned one. We'll see. Anyway, lovely guitar, Dave. Another one from Dave Thompson. This is his Guild Surfliner. Yes. Okay. A HSS Strat style guitar with nods to kind of a jazz master with the switches up here. It's got a kind of a goofy look. Let me go. What's going on here? 12, 15, 17, 19, 21, 23 frets. Yeah. Funnily enough, I'm just making a video about, that has a loose connection to a 23 fret guitar. That's going to be coming up in the next few weeks. It's kind of got a goofy charm about it, I suppose, hasn't it? I like the idea of like a Filtertron style HSS. Yes. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm warming to it the more I'm seeing it. I'm thinking that would look a lot better, as would any guitar with a tortoiseshell scratch plate, but there you go. What we got here, Derek Stopperton's latest acquisition. He's been emailing me over this. He's really over the moon with it. His Hills HN3. These are sort of taking over from from those E-Art guitars as being the budget Strandberg killers, aren't they? I don't know. I've had a couple of headless guitars, both of them E-Arts. I've scratched that itch, and something just tells me that, the ceramic pickups that I believe that this has and everything, it's just, yeah. When you see a bloke in late middle age who's kind of dressing like a teenager and, not quite carrying it off, I think that's what that guitar might look like on me. So, but Derek is absolutely in love with it. So congratulations, Derek, on your new acquisition. One from Mark Card this time is Harley Benton guitar banjo. Long-term viewers of the channel will remember when I briefly had one of these, which was when I was doing the Guitars for Good Causes thing. A very kind chap in Ireland who, I think I can name him now. I think he was called Liam. I think it was Liam. Yes, anyway, let's call him Liam. He basically bought this for the Guitars for Good Causes thing. He just kind of ordered it and sent it to me, and and I did the reviews on the channel with it, and discovered that, yes, I'm not really. It's even though it's tuned like a guitar and all of your guitar shapes and everything work, it still requires just a different mindset to play it. It's it you know all of the kind of strummy kind of things that you would normally do don't tend to work in a banjo context. But it was an itch that I needed to scratch, and I'm glad that I did. Moving on, Mr. Chris's modded mandolin. Yes, Mr. Chris, he's, as you can see, it's a right-handed mandolin, but Mr. Chris is a southpaw, and he's adjusted the stringing and everything accordingly. And well, yes, I'm just looking at that and thinking, is that actually strung left-handed? Of course it is, you fool. And he's given it a bit of a snazzy paint job, and yeah, it's never really been somebody that's fancied a mandolin, but I suppose it's a box I could, definitely not a ukulele, not into the idea of a ukulele, but maybe a mandolin I could be persuaded. Then again, I often say when we get pictures of guitars that when you picture a certain model of guitar, a certain image conjures up in your mind. And when you think of a Telecaster, this is very much, the classic look, isn't it? Blonde, blackguard Telecaster. This belongs to Ralph Clark, and it's his player telly. And what a lovely guitar it looks as well. Notice that he's going into a Fender Champion 20. I almost bought one of those amps a little while ago, but ended up thinking, well, would I really get any use out of it? So I ended up not doing it. But yeah, that's just dial the amp in for some sort of tweed sound or Fender Twin sound. Put a little bit of shimmery reverb on that, and you're going to be in twangtastic heaven. And a couple of Diamonds here from Rexomatic. That I think this was prompted by the Diamond review that I did. When was it? Last week. There's another Diamond coming up on the channel very, very soon, in fact, as well. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Absolutely, just the pinnacle of retro, charming looking guitars, aren't they? I mean, this one especially. That's, you're just going to pick that up and immediately start playing Chuck Berry licks or Brian Setzer licks and stuff like that. And this one here just looks, I don't know, that looks a lot like the kind of solid bodied Gretsch. I always forget the model names with Gretches. I know it's not a Gretsch, but the sort of Beatlesy George Harrison kind of thing. You're just going to have a lot of fun playing all kinds of retro stuff with either of those guitars, aren't you? And then Stephen Hedges modded classic vibe Strat, 60s classic vibe with candy apple red. What have you got here? You've put hand-wound single coils and an iron gear rolling mill humbucker. Oh, that's going to be a punchy sound, isn't it? Yes. And just the epitome of a great little workhorse guitar. And I know I'm not that much into Strats, but I get why people love them because they are so versatile. And that's a good looking guitar, whatever you think of Strats or whether you like them or not. That is a good looking guitar, purposeful and versatile. And this one's upside down. Tom Clark's Aerodyne Telecaster. Oh, dear me, that's going to be nice, isn't it? I often look at people's guitars that they send in and I think, well, if that were mine, what I would do is, and what would I do that? Maybe a Hot Rails in the bridge, because it's a black menacing look. It needs to have that a bit of power at the back end, I would say, for me. P90 in the neck. Oh, that'd be some combination, wouldn't it? But lovely looking guitar. I remember those Aerodynes when they first came out, and I was like, yeah, okay, fair enough. And I never really sort of got them. But yes, that is a very, very, very attractive looking guitar, and I covet it greatly. So there you go. That is this week's selection of viewers' guitars. Lovely bunch this week, wasn't it? If you have any pictures of guitars that you'd like to see on the show, then send them over to me. jrguitartuition@gmail.com, and they get put in the pile. It doesn't have to be a guitar either. Maybe you're a bass player. Send me a picture of your bass. Maybe it might be a pedal board. Maybe it might be a new amp that you've got. Whatever. If it's gear that you use to make music with, then ping me a picture of it. jrguitartuition@gmail.com, and that's also the address where you need to send any of your viewers' tales, which we're going to have another one. There's a really good one tonight. I will. It made me laugh out loud when I read it. Mr. Chris, that was a brilliant story, and I'm going to share it with the rest of the chaps very, very soon. I was going to say something. Oh yes, some of the news for you. I said earlier on. I said earlier on that my Friday night plans. I keep kind of going all white and bleached out. Maybe if I sit still. I said earlier on that my Friday night plans had been severely disrupted, and dear me, they have. Anybody that's known me for any length of time knows that Friday night is curry night. Friday night in the Robson household is curry night. And not just any old curry as well, my homemade chicken madras. Went to get a batch out of the freezer this morning, none left. I thought, have we gone through it all? I can't believe it doesn't seem like that long since I did a big batch cook of curry, but it was before Easter, and me and Jackie have chowed through them all. So there's no curry in the house tonight. And we had a Bengal spice curry last week as a sort of little anniversary treat. I know how to treat a girl, don't I? Stick with me, love, I'll buy you a curry. Stick with me, 25 years, you'll get a curry. And last week she did. So we're not having that this week. So anyway, we're having a kebab shop kind of tea tonight. I'm probably going to have a pizza with doner meat on it. Big tub of garlic sauce as well. Oh, get those arteries nice and hard, shall we? You gotta love a Friday night tea. So no curry on a weekend. That's unheard of. But there we go. We'll survive. The other thing I was mentioning earlier is that I've been busy typing out tabs today. The reason I've been typing out tabs isn't for Patreon or anything like that, because they're all taken care of. I'm up to date with all of that sort of stuff. No. Ever since last year, I've been blethering on about a new book that I've been writing. I've done 2 already, Practical Music Theory for the Rock Guitarist and the Blues Guitar Bible. As I say, the links aren't there yet because the description isn't there while the stream is live. But check back later. If you haven't already got a copy of those books, then you'll find the links in the description. Back in November last year, I completed a 3rd book, entitled How to Play Melodic Rock Lead Guitar. And it's, as I say, it's been finished since November last year. So why isn't it being out? Well, if you had either of the other 2 books, you'll know that every couple of paragraphs there's because they come in PDF format. You'll see a little bit where it says click here to see me demonstrating this, or click here for the jam track for this solo, or click here for the tab for this solo. And I got the text of the book finished, but none of the audio visual content, none of the jam tracks, none of the videos, and none of the tabs were done. Well, I've been beavering away like a man possessed over the last week or so to get the videos and the jam tracks done. They're all done. And today I made a start on the tabs. There's an absolute boatload of them to do. But I can just fire up the laptop, put my headphones on, fire up Guitar Pro, and get them done. And I find it really absorbing and, funnily enough, a very relaxing thing to do. It's like you get lost in kind of doing it. It's a bit like doing a crossword puzzle or a Sudoku or that kind of thing. It's my equivalent of that. So I'm going to be cracking on with those this week, and then the new book will be ready. I aim to be launching the book on next week's live stream. It covers everything you need to know about the pentatonic scale, chord tones, the caged system, and other ways of viewing that particular wave, mapping out the neck. Everything you need to know about modes, double stops, arpeggios, harmonic minor scale, exotic scales, how to use those to create very, very kind of spooky and unique kind of sounds. And you get all of the kind of diagrams and shapes that you need, all of the tabs, Guitar Pro PDF format, all of the jam tracks, and there's, I think about, don't quote me on this, but I think there's about 40 video demonstrations and tutorials that go along with it. And I shall be launching it hopefully next week. And Johnny D is saying, I'm so lazy, I need to learn how to read tabs, but keep putting it off. It's 6 lines, mate. You know, each one's a string, and the numbers on the lines tell you which fret to play it at. That's right. Okay, you now officially know how to read tab. It's I get the thing that you might think, oh, it's reading music and I can't do that, and it's many orders of magnitude easier than learning to read music notation. I promise you. People who come to me for lessons, like from beginner stage, when I introduce them to tab, you know, they are fluent in it within one lesson, within 1 hour. I promise you, it is an absolute doddle. There's a video I did on it. Let me see if I can find it. Let's have a wee look. God, I'm multitasking tonight, aren't I? Looking up postcodes and dear me, right, where is it? Right, okay, I've got a link here. I'm going to post in the chat, just especially for you, mate. Oh, Johnny D saying, I know how to, but I can't be asked to do it. Fair enough, mate. Sorry, I'll put the link in the chat anyway. I was under the impression that you didn't know how to do it, but well, just, you know, here's my advice, right? I could get all sort of guitar teachery and say, you really must book up your ideas, young man. Learn to read. You know, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to say, if playing tab if reading tab rather is something that will solve a problem for you, then it's worthwhile doing. Okay? It's like learning anything about the guitar, learning music theory, learning intervals, learning note locations on the neck. You know, they do solve problems, but you need to have, encountered that problem and be looking for a solution before that information becomes. Only when a piece of information becomes useful to you does it become something that you value, right? And you know, if your thing that you do on the guitar doesn't, you know, give you any pressing need to be able to read tab, then, you know, where's your motivation for doing it? It's not going to be there. Don't do it like, because you think you ought to, or because you think it's good for you. Like, you know, my granny, God dear me, when my parents used to both work and have early starts, my granny used to kind of give me breakfast, and that breakfast always included like a teaspoon of cod liver oil, you know, because it's good for you. Yes. Apparently. Do you know what I mean? Don't do it out of some sense of obligation just because it's going to be something that you feel you ought to. Wait until the time comes when you need to do it because it will solve a problem. Peter Hall is saying, your next book should be John Robson's Guide to a Health Lifestyle, complete with tabs. Yeah, I'm not in a position. Oh, where are we? I didn't mean to put that up. Apologies about that. Yeah, I'm in no position to give anybody lectures on a healthy lifestyle. I'm just, as you can probably tell, I'm too fond of ale and pies. It's I'm at that age now where my doctor is, I never make an appointment to see the doctor. The doctor always makes an appointment to see me oh, you're going to come in and we're going to talk about this, or we're going to kind of discuss that, or we're going to, yes, do you not think it might be a good idea to lose a little bit of weight? Are you still doing that? Let's have a look at your blood pressure. It's that kind of thing. You get to a certain age, and that's your relationship with your doctor. And, I've got a good mate who's watching this now. I know he is, but he never joins in the chat. He got one of those communications from his doctor, and they wanted to know how much he drank. So what he did was he took every bottle of wine that he drank on a weekly basis on average, and he counted every full bottle of wine as 1 unit of alcohol, and he filled that in on the form. And the doctor still told him he was more than 2 times over the recommended limit. Yes, I know you're watching, mate. I'll have a word with you later, no doubt. Anyway, about time we got to the this week's viewer's tale. This one comes from Mr. Chris, and I'm just going to refill the lubricant vessel before I get into this. This is a story that actually it did make me laugh out loud when I read it in Chris's email. So here we go. Here's a little story. Picture the scene. A working men's club in 1978 in a Newcastle suburb. Friday night before the first bingo, the chairman stands on the stage and he starts, You will be pleased to know that we've secured a substantial amount from the brewer for improvements. The club will close for major upgrades. We will open on New Year's Eve. He says it will, including new seating, carpeting, stage, lighting and sound system. Also, a new Hammond organ and 2 Leslie cabinets. As planned, all went well. The organ was delivered and set up. It was great. The old Lowry, that's the old organ, was taken away. Dust sheets over everything. Work completed on time. That's my mate texting me. Work completed on time. A week before the opening, the club was burgled. A stock take revealed that the only things that had been taken were 40 empty brown ale crates. That was a relief. Opening night, bar stocked, new PA on, dust sheets on the seating removed, carpets vacuumed. Lastly, off came the sheets on the organ. Yep, 40 empty brown ale crates. So, yes, I'm not condoning that kind of thing, but, oh no, it wasn't my friend texting me. It was, funnily enough, it was the app that I'll be using to order the kebab shop tea later. Asking if it's Friday, are you there? Are you going to be ordering anything? Yeah, so they'd pinched the brand new Hammond organ and Leslie cabinets and stacked up some beer crates in on the stage, put the covers back over it, and I suppose it's ingenious, isn't it? That there is a small part of me that thinks, that has a tiny little smidgen of admiration for the scumbags involved, but, not too much. Peter Nicholson, I'm going to grind your gears here. What grinds my gear is those who say they cannot sing. If I said I could not play the guitar, they would say take lessons and practice. Am I right? Mate, I can't sing. I've had singing lessons. And the problem that I have when it comes to singing is I can hear the note I want to hit, but convincing that note to emerge here is an entirely different matter. Okay? It just, I know. It's like I can hear that, but it's not going to come out here. And no singing teacher has a solution for that. None of the ones that I've ever spoken to. Every band I was in for many, many years, rehearsals, can we get some backing vocals off you this week, John? Yes, of course you can. Next week, never ever a mic set up for me. And it's like, okay, yeah, you just stand over there and play the guitar. You're good at that. We'll do without your backing vocals. So it's like driving, okay? Some people that I meet, a lot of people that I meet, are absolutely astounded that as a 58-year-old man, I've never learned to drive. I haven't. Well, I've learned, it just hasn't taken. My last driving instructor told me that in over 30 years as a professional driving instructor, he'd never been scared in a car with a student before until me. It's just I don't have, and occasionally I will meet very, very, I mean, I've been doing this job now 35 years, right? And I can still count on the fingers of one hand, less than 5 people who I would say, yeah, you're just never going to be able to play the guitar. The majority of people can. And I think that's the same with any field, okay? The majority of people can pretty much turn the hand to anything, but there is just sometimes a mental block. Sometimes there is, some sort of thing that prevents you from doing. With me, it's singing and driving. I'm lucky that way. I've collected 2 of those, things. But it's just one of those things. And does it cause me any sleepless nights? Well, no. I mean, my and Jackie's standard of living is immeasurably higher because we've managed to construct a life that doesn't involve the expense of keeping a car on the road. We're lucky in the place that we live there where there's everything we need to get is within easy walking distance and there's relatively good transport links. And does it bother me that I can't sing? No, not a bit of it. Maiden man, what you saying there, mate? My dad was a vocal coach, music teacher, insisted everyone could sing. They just needed to find their vocal range, except me. Johnny Random is saying, there's a small amount of people that can't sing. Yeah, I'm one of them. Peter Nicholson saying, but did you take lessons and practice? Yes, I did practice. And the thing that I could, as I say, the thing that I could never do is I even had like the one singing coach that I had even used to give me tapes to take home and kind of vocal exercises to do, and and I just could not get that thing of like, how do I make the note that's in my head come out of my mouth? That was just something that was, I don't know, maybe I needed hypnosis or something like that to make it work. But as I say, Jimmy Page, not known for his vocal talents. Jeff Beck, all right, Hi Ho, Silver Lining, but not many other songs where he put down a vocal track. Yeah, I'm a guitar player. That's what I do, and I'll stand and fall on that. On that alone, and I never really wanted to be able to sing either. I suppose, kind of like I never really wanted to be able to drive. Some people get to the 17th birthday, they can't wait for the first driving lesson. I was well into my 20s before I was sort of cajoled into it by my parents. Anyway. Johnny D's saying, I think with singing you need to be confident. Yeah. Vincent Brennan, you raise an interesting point there, mate. Indeed. The old Guns N' Roses stuff like Appetite for Destruction, that sort of era. I thought that was just such a breath of fresh air when that came along. After all of the kind of poodle permed, spandex clad, L'Oreal encrusted. My phone is going mental tonight. There we go. A message from Grandpa Joe. Let's have a look at that. Yes. Anyway, the point I was making is that Slash was a breath of fresh air compared to the other guitar players that were kind of around at the time. Grandpa Joe's just bought me and Jackie a Bengal Spice. Thank you, Joe. You are a gentleman, sir. Thank you so much. I always regarded Axl's vocals as being the price that you had to pay to listen to Slash's guitar playing. One of the great things, if you haven't seen it, watch the Slash live gig made in Stoke, where he's got Miles Kennedy on vocals, and he does a fair chunk of the old Guns N' Roses back catalogue, but this time with Miles Kennedy, like a real singer, singing those songs, and it is immeasurably better, in my humble opinion, as they say. Anyway, Rent to Kill. What you saying? If I'm ever in a pub and can't get to the bar, I sing karaoke and the pub empties. Works every time. Yes, that was a brilliant heckle that somebody yelled at us one time when I was in some dismal pub band and playing. I think it was some awful kind of trendy bar in a place called Darlington. Yes, Darlington. Dear me, anything trendy in Darlington now, there's a novelty. And we were thrashing out some kind of energetic up-tempo blues, and a voice comes from the audience. The acoustics are much better now. You've emptied the place. Even I laughed. I thought that was a brilliant heckle. Where are we? Let's have a look, see what I've missed. What are you saying there, Moon's Guitars? I'm a massive Stone Roses fan, and I can admit Ian Brown cannot sing well at all. Didn't stop him making a career of it, though. Yep. Jay Aoyong is saying Knopfler wasn't really well known for great vocal range either. No, but he was sort of in tune most of the time, wasn't he? And the thing about Knopfler is he sounded like a more musical version, a more musical and less nasal version of Bob Dylan. So yes. That said, I'm a big Dire Straits fan, but not much of a Mark Knopfler solo fan. Austin Barrett is saying, if you can talk, you can ding. I suppose that's saying, yeah. Well, as I said, I'm going to disagree with you on that one, because I can do one, but I have yet to be convinced I can do the other. Malcolm Spillett, great point, mate. My dad used to say of Knopfler, can't sing, doesn't matter, great storyteller. Indeed he is. Anyway, chaps, we're into the dying seconds of the game, and I need to go and order some food, courtesy of Grandpa Joe. Thank you, Grandpa Joe. You are... Peter Nicholson is saying, is your voice worse than Mick Jagger? Well, let me answer that by saying my favourite Rolling Stones album is Exile on Main Street. And I think it's probably my favourite Rolling Stones album because Mick Jagger's voice is very, very low in the mix on that album. And with that, I'm going to wrap things up there, chaps. Don't forget, Steve Cassidy's got a video coming out straight after this. So go and recharge your glasses and go and give Steve a few clicks and a few likes and stuff. And don't forget to check out Rexmatic and his new channel. Go and show him a bit of support. And searching for Tone and Budget Guitar Johnny, who sometimes drops in, and Blue Sofa Songs and all the rest of them. Thank you for turning up and watching a fat, bald northern lad talk absolute bollocks for an hour. It's been a blast, and I'll keep on doing it till you're sick of me. But for now, time, gentlemen, please.